Welcome everybody to this video where a guy, myself, will be learning about the lore of League of Legends and Runeterra. On today's video we're gonna be checking out Noxus, and the reason for this is because I watched Arcane. They heavily hinted towards this area, some characters are gonna be coming with war to Piltover and so on, so I wanted to see what's the deal and maybe get a hint or two of what might happen in Arcane Season 2. If you haven't, check out the other videos where I cover Piltover and Zone. So I've never played League of Legends, and all I know about the Noxian Empire is that Mel Medarda from Arcane, she comes from there, and her mom too. Her name is Ambessa. I heard she's gonna get a champion League of Legends soon, so that will be interesting to read up the lore and all of that. I just know there are like warriors, they conquer and they do war, and that's it. So let's check out how many champions are in there, what's this area all about, and yeah, hopefully let's learn something new. Even though you are a veteran of League of Legends, you might learn something new today. Before we dive in, I just wanted to clarify that I know all this lore is not up to date. I know that after Arcane they changed the canon, and what I'm gonna check today out is gonna be outdated. I understand. I'm doing these videos just to get an idea of what the areas are like and what can I expect for future lore, you know? Let's go and learn about Noxus. Alright, so here we are in the map, and straight away you can see Noxus is crazy big. Look at how many territories they have. They have in other continents like this one over here, Ionia, not sure how to say that. And down here too, all the way in Australia. And there it is, Noxus. Noxus is a powerful empire with a fearsome reputation. To those beyond its borders, it is a brutal, expansionist and threatening, yet those who look past its warlike exterior see an unusually inclusive society, where the strengths and talents of its people are respected and cultivated. Well, straight away they sound like the Dothraki from Game of Thrones or something. Straight away, I don't know why I'm getting that impression. Or like the Roman Empire, if you want to have a real life example. The Noxai, okay, that's how they are called. I thought it was Noxians, but okay, Noxai, were once fierce barbarian tribes until they stormed out the ancient city that now lies at the heart of their domain. Under threat from all sides, they aggressively took the fight to their enemies, pushing their borders outwards. With each passing year, I can see that, yeah, in the map, it was crazy. This struggle for survival has made modern Noxians a deeply proud people who value strength above all, though that strength can manifest in many different forms. I wonder, you know, a society like this probably has a leader. I wonder who's the leader of this empire. Anybody can rise to a position of power and respect within Noxus if they display the necessary aptitude, regardless of social standing, background, homeland, or wealth. Those who are able to wield magic are held in particularly high esteem and are actively sought out in order that their special talents may be honed and best harnessed for the benefit of the empire. Oh, okay, so they like magic. I heard that some areas they don't like magic, but this one, they seem okay with it. But in spite of this meritocratic ideal, the old noble houses still wield considerable power, and some fear that the greatest threat to Noxus comes not from its enemies, but from within. Ooh, drama alert. By the way, all noble houses, one of those is Medarda, right? The house Medarda, probably it's one of those. Let me know in the comments, like, probably you guys know more about this than me. And now for the exciting part, the champions of Noxus. And there are a few, so I don't know any of these. Just from taking a look at it, I guess this guy looks like Heimerdinger, but other than that, I've seen this guy, I think. Isn't Tyler one? Doesn't he play this character, or am I crazy? I was getting wrong, but I think I just know Tyler 1 from League of Legends. That's all I know. Katarina looks hot. I like her. So let's go one by one. Let's start with Cassiopeia. She's like a snake mommy or something, right? Yeah, she kind of strikes me like one. Cassiopeia, the serpent's embrace. Secrets are sharper than blades. Cassiopeia. Wow. and she's related to the hot woman. Katarina. Renekton is a lizard. Nasus. Oh my god, she's related to a bunch. Severe, Azir, and Talon. Okay, I don't know any of those. I wonder if we're gonna encounter any characters that are related to Arcane. That would be cool. Yeah. She's a mage. Cassiopeia is a deadly creature bent on manipulating others to her will. Youngest and most beautiful daughter of the noble Ducoteau, family of Noxus. Okay, I guess that's another noble family. She ventured deep into the crypts beneath Shurima in search of ancient power. There, she was beaten by a gruesome tomb guardian whose venom transformed her into a viper-like predator. Cunning and agile, Cassiopeia now slithers under the veil of night, petrifying her enemies with her baleful gaze. Wow, that's kind of cool. And she got a short story as well. So basically, she's like Peter Parker, Snake Edition, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm impressed so far. I like it. Darius, the Hand of Noxus. History only remembers the victors. Stand with Noxus and be remembered forever. Oh wow, is he like a lieutenant or something like that? Draven, Katarina, Vladimir. He looks like Elthas from World of Warcraft. And this guy looks like Tywin Lannister. There is no greater symbol of Noxian might than Darius, the nation's most feared and battle-hardened leader. Rising from humble origins to become the Hand of Noxus, he cleaves through the Empire's enemies. Many of them Noxians themselves. Oh wow, so there's like civil war and stuff. Knowing that he never doubts his cause is just, and never hesitates when his axe is raised. Those who stand against the commander of the Trifarian Legion can expect no mercy. Oh, he's a commander. Okay. Still, I wonder who's the leader. I wonder if Mel's mother is actually the leader of the Noxian Empire. Okay, Darius, and he's a fighter. Okay, he struck me as one, too. Oh, Tales of Runeterra, Noxus. I need to check that out. And he got a feature video. Oh my god, he got a lot of stuff. Is he an important character or something? Blood of Noxus? Oh my god. Okay, yeah. We might need to do an exclusive video just for Darius. Alright, but not on this one because this is just an overview. Next, we got Draven. He got an animated background at least. Draven, the glorious executioner. The best is wherever I decide to set the bar each day. Okay, Draven. Is he like Goku or something? He's a marksman. Oh, he's like range. Okay. In Noxus, warriors known as Reckoners face one another in arenas where blood is spilled and strength tested. But none has ever been as celebrated as Draven, a former soldier. He found that the crowds uniquely appreciated his flair for the dramatic, not to mention the spray of blood from each of his spinning axes. That's scary. Addicted to the spectacle of his own brush perfection, Draven has sworn to defeat whomever he must to ensure that his name is chanted throughout the Empire forevermore. Oh my god, he's Russell Crowe in Gladiator. That's what he is. That's cool though. What does it say? Dual axes and then spinning axes? And then he's a marksman. Is it like he throws them or something? Oh my, pushy. Draven art spotlight. Nice. Oh yeah, he throws the axes. I see. Okay, next is Katarina. She caught my eye straight away earlier. I wonder why. Never question my loyalty. You will never know what I endure for it. Katarina. Okay. And she's related to Cassiopeia, whom we saw earlier. Sion. Talon. Garen. Swain. And Darius. Oh, Darius as well. Okay. Decisive in judgment and lethal combat, Katarina is a Noxian assassin. Yes, she's an assassin. Forgot to say that. Of the highest caliber. Eldest daughter to the legendary General Ducoteau. Oh, she's like kind of like a princess or something. She made her talents known with swift kills against unsuspecting enemies. Her fiery ambition has driven her to pursue heavily guarded targets, even at the risk of endangering her allies. But no matter the mission, Katarina will not hesitate to execute her duty amid a whirlwind of serrated daggers. Oh, okay, so she's like a rogue or something, right? Like an assassin. That's cool. I like her. Damn, I want to see some artwork on her. Oh my god, yeah. Is it me or League of Legends is kind of, you know, alright, Heimerdinger's cousin. Long distance cousin, I guess. This is Kled, the Cantankerous Cavalier. A sane man will run, but I ain't the running kind. Kled, okay. And he's related to Swain, Darius, Tristana, and Elise. A warrior as fearless as he is ordinary. The Yordle, okay, good Yordle, yeah. Kled embodies the furious bravado of Noxus. Many claim Kled has fought in every campaign the war hosts have waged, acquired every military title, and never once backed down from a fight. Ooh, he's very brave and old. He's a boomer Yordle. Though the truth of the matter is often questionable, one part of his legend is always the same. Charging into battle on his untrusty steed, Scar, Kled fights to protect what's his, and takes whatever else he can get. Damn, he's small, but he fights, yeah, he's a fighter. Oh, and there is a video too. I have so many cinematics to watch, don't worry, we will get to all of them, I promise you. Is this his steed, Scar? Is this it? It's like a frog or something? Oh my god. Leblanc. Why there are two of them? The Deceiver. Ah, that makes sense. Okay, maybe she makes copies or something. A rose cannot grow in darkness. It dies, and the darkness grows. Wow, that's beautiful. Swain, at least. Mysterious even to the other members of the Black Rose Cabal. Leblanc is but one of many names of a pale woman who has manipulated people and events since the earliest days of Noxus. Using her magic to mirror herself, the sorceress can appear to anyone, anywhere, and even be in many places at once. Always plotting just out of sight, Leblanc's true motives are as inscrutable as her shifting identity. Okay, that is really cool. And she's an assassin. Okay. Look, a short story and everything. I really like her. Oh my gosh, she's like a dark mommy. I like her, okay. But you gotta be careful with her. She might be plotting something against you, or be dressed as you, like your skin, you know? She went into the store and bought your skin or something. Okay, that's interesting. What's surprising me the most about exploring all of these regions is that each character is like really unique. There haven't been two characters that I feel like they are the same, or like they are kind of similar. Mordekaiser, this guy looks awesome. The Iron Revenant, I like it. Destiny, Domination, Deceit, and he's connected to Leblanc, Viegar, and Vladimir. I guess these are the, you know, the sorcerer, dark magic type of people, yeah, and he's a fighter. Twice slain and thrice born. Oh my god, he's like Jesus. Mordekaiser is a brutal warlord from a foregone epoch who uses his necromantic sorcery to bind souls into an eternity of servitude. Few now remain who remember his earlier conquests or know the true extent of his powers, but there are some ancient souls that do, and they fear the day when he might return to claim dominion over both the living and the dead. Oh, is he sleeping or something? Okay, he's cool and scary, so we gotta watch out for him. Riven, the Exile. A warrior's blade reflects the truth in their heart. Mine is black and broken. Wow, she got a dark past, maybe. And she's related to Leblanc and Yasuo. Once a sword master in the war hosts of Noxus, Riven rose through the ranks on the strength of her conviction and brutal efficiency, and was rewarded with a legendary runic blade and a war band of her own. However, on the Ionian front, oh, that's the continent that is like to the east, right? I haven't checked it out yet. Riven's fate in her nation was tested and ultimately broken. She severed all ties to the Empire, seeking to find her place in a shattered world. Even as rumors abandoned that Noxus had been reforged. Now forced to return in chains, she faces the judgment of her former homeland. Probably she met Yasuo, who I'm assuming is from Ionia, and they became friends or something, and she changed her mind about her homeland. And now she's back and she has to redeem herself or something. There is a comic, a short story. So many, oh my gosh, you see? Okay, Confessions of Broken Blade, yeah, with Yasuo. I guess all these stories are the progress It also shows character development over here, which I find very interesting. Samira, the Desert Rose. Wow, she's like a pirate or something. Virtues, I got a few. Vices, a few more. Samira, I like her. And she's ready to Darius and Leblanc. Samira stares death in the eye with unyielding confidence, with one eye, I'm assuming. Seeking thrill wherever she goes. After her Shuriman home was destroyed as a child. Oh, Shuriman is down there, right? Okay, so she started there, down in the south, and she moved to Noxus. Samira found her true calling in Noxus, where she built a reputation as a stylish daredevil, taking on dangerous missions of the highest caliber. Wielding black powder pistols and a custom-engineered blade, Samira thrives in life or death circumstances, eliminating any who stand in her way with flash and flare. Wow, she reminds me of the Prince of Persia, basically. I don't know if you guys have ever played that game, but yeah, she kind of gives me that vibe. I like it. She got a short story. Sion, or Sion, I don't know how to say it. It looks like Garrosh Hellscream from World of Warcraft, by the way. The Undead Juggernaut. War is eternal. Assam I is a tank. A brutal warlord from a bygone era, Sion was revered in Noxus for choking the life out of a Demacian king with his bare hands. I know Demacia is to the west, right? I think so. I saw that in Necrit's video. But denied the peace of death, he was resurrected to serve his empire once more. Okay, some dark magic. His indiscriminate slaughter claims all who stand in his way, regardless of allegiance, proving he has retained little of his former humanity. With crude armor bolted onto his rotten flesh, Sion continues to charge into battle with reckless abandon, struggling to remember his true self between the swings of his mighty axe. So he's kind of gone up there, right? Okay, yeah. He's scary. He's scary and big. Alright, now we got Tywin Lannister, Swain, the Noxian Grand General. Okay, he's a big deal, like Tywin Lannister. I have learned enough to detest all men. Only nations may be revered. And he's related to Katarina, Darius, Leblanc, Draven, and Vladimir. Okay. He's a mage. Jericho Swain is the visionary ruler of Noxus, an expansionist nation that reveres only strength. Though he was cast down and crippled in the Ionian Wars, I guess that was a long time ago. His left arm severed, he seized control of the empire with ruthless determination and a new demonic hand. Now Swain commands from the front lines, marching against a coming darkness that only he can see. In glimpses gathered by shadowy ravens from the corpses all around him, in a swirl of sacrifice and secrets, the greatest secret of all is that the true enemy lies within. Wow, that's very philosophical. This guy is scary. With that hand, yeah, that sounds very scary. He's a big deal, it feels like. He got a lot of short stories. I guess he's big in the lore as well. I know if Grand General, that means that he's the top, you know, since it's a society based on meritocracy and all of that. Or there is Emperor or something like that. Talon, the Blade's Shadow. Okay, another rock-looking guy. He's an assassin and he's related to Katarina, Queen, Cassiopeia. The three deadliest blade masters in all Valorant are bound to the house of Dukoto, my father, myself, and Talon. Oh, is this guy like the brother of Katarina or something? Because I think she was also Dukoto, right? Challenge us if you dare. Talon is the knife in the darkness, a merciless killer able to strike without warning and escape before any alarm is raised. He carved out a dangerous reputation on the brutal streets of Noxus, where he was forced to fight, kill, and steal to survive. Adopted by the notorious Dukoto family. Oh, adopted, okay. He now plies his deadly trade at the Empire's command, assassinating enemy leaders, captains, and heroes, as well as any Noxian foolish enough to earn the scorn of their masters. Wow, this is so cool. Imagine we see this guy selling Arcane, like they just sent him from the Noxian Empire. That could add so much plot to the show, or like just a show about the Noxian Empire. That would be amazing. Oh, this is how he looks in the game. He looks awesome. I really like him. And finally, the last champion. There were a lot of champions in this area. Vladimir, the Crimson Reaper. He looks like Arthas. I'm sorry. He really looks like Arthas. Time has made me wiser. but no more patient, Vladimir. And he's related to Swain, Leblanc, Elise, and Kane. Okay, he's a mage, of course. A fiend with a thirst for mortal blood, Vladimir has influenced the affairs of Noxus since the Empire's earliest days. In addition to unnaturally extending his life, his mastery of Hemon and Sea. Okay, I think I know what that is. It's blood with magic. Hemo is blood, so I guess he does blood magic, right? Allows him to control the minds and bodies of others as easily as his own. In the flamboyant salons of the Noxian aristocracy, this enabled him to build a fanatical cult of personality around himself, while in the lowest back alleys, it allows him to bleed his enemies dry. Wow, damn, he's a politician, but also a warrior. Yeah. Got a short story. What's this? Oh, Ruination. He's in Ruination? Okay, that's funny because I got the book the other day. A friend of mine gifted it to me. I wanted to cover the Shadow Isles. I know it's from there. So this guy is interesting, and we will hear more about him for sure, Vladimir. So we checked out all the champions, and next we got the Tales of Runeterra, Noxus. I checked out the one for Song and Piltover, and I'm gonna do this in another video. I like having the cinematics in independent videos. I feel that's better. Then we got environments, layers of history. This looks like Harrenhal or something from Game of Thrones. The Immortal Bastion at the heart of Noxus is far more ancient than the Empire itself. It is said that it was constructed on the order of the dread revenant Mordekaiser, and parts of it have been raised and rebuilt over the centuries, such that there are layers to its streets, and some districts now lie below ground. Few dare walk these streets after dark without guards to protect them. Damn, that's scary. You gotta be careful in the Noxian Empire, it seems. It's dangerous. Noxian presence in Shurima. Oh, this is the south, right? They conquered the south. A number of ports and cities in northern Shurima were voluntarily assimilated into the Empire. The original inhabitants of this settlement live in relative peace with their Noxian counterparts, seeing the exchange of food and preferential trade as a price worth paying for military protection from raiders. So, okay, at least these people don't seem too upset about being invaded by the Noxian Empire. They have security now, I guess. Life is a battle. Noxians respect strength above all things, and the only way to remain strong is to be constantly tested. They relish the opportunity to compete with one another, since to not be challenged is to grow weak, and even those at the peak of power must always seek new ways to challenge themselves, or they will not remain in power for long. It is not just physical or martial strength that Noxians admire. Those who demonstrate expertise in politics, craftsmanship, trade, and magic all help to create a stronger Noxus. You know what this reminds me of? A little bit. I watched the other day Dune 1 and 2. It kind of reminds me of that, the desert people. Yeah, now that I think about it, these are the desert people, kinda. A state of perpetual conflict. Noxus is an aggressive and expansionist empire, always looking to widen its borders by conquering new lands. It does not always do so by violence. Indeed, many are the nations that have taken the knee before the Grand General. Okay, so the Grand General, that guy, the Tywin guy, is the guy who's ruling, seeing a chance for greater stability and security in joining the Empire. Those who defy Noxus, however, are crushed without mercy. I wonder what's gonna happen on Arcane Season 2. Oppressive and defensive. Noxian cities are characterized by imposing structures, claustrophobic streets, crenelated buildings, steep slope walls, and immense gateways. That sounds intimidating. Their cities emphasize the strength and dominance of the Empire, and are highly defensible. An enemy attempting to take a Noxian city by force can expect to be fought and resisted at every turn, for even the humblest home is built like a fortress. That's awesome. I kinda like it. I dig in. Okay, what's this? Is this like the main city or something? What's the name of their capital? I will have to check that. By the way, I found this. It was kind of hidden, but I found it. It's called the Immortal Bastion, which is like the capital. Situated in the heartland of what will later become their empire, the Immortal Bastion was the first citadel to fall to the Noxian tribes. Oh, so they started as tribes, okay. Said to have been built by a dread sorcerer in a far distant age, the Noxians made the captured city their capital, and has remained so to this day. In the centuries since then, as Noxian armies conquer even more territories, the city has sprawled far beyond its battle-scarred walls. Old Noxus retains its forbidden character, but the structures beyond its fortifications grow ever more varied, as the diverse people of the Empire are drawn to the capital by the lure of wealth and glory. Yeah, that is awesome. Very intimidating too. I guess this was a city made by Mordekaiser, right? Back then, back in the day. Okay, now let's go with life in Noxus. These are the people you might find in Noxus. Ultra inclusive. As Noxus expands and defeats neighboring cultures and cities, it offers the conquered people a choice. Swear loyalty to Noxus and be judged solely on your worth, or be destroyed. That's brutal. This is not subterfuge or any kind of ruse. The Noxians are as good as their word, and many who have embraced their conquerors' way of life find their prospects greatly improved. But those who refuse to bend the knee are crushed without mercy. Oh my god, that is awesome. I dig it, I dig it. It makes sense that it's inclusive because, like, how many... Did you see how big it was, the area that they have conquered? Like, of course they're gonna have diversity in there. So many people from so many places. It makes sense. Old blood, new blood. Anybody can prosper in Noxus, no matter their background, so long as they have the strength of will and the drive to succeed. The warlord Darius is a perfect example of this, rising from nothing to become one of the Empire's most powerful leaders. Yeah, they do it on merit, right? Despite this meritocratic ideal, the old noble families still wield considerable power at the heart of the Empire, and some fear that the greatest threat to Noxus come not from its enemies, but from within. Okay, that makes sense. Like, people might get frustrated if they have a lot of merit and they don't achieve a certain position because the old houses are saying no or are blocking you. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Drake hounds. Oh my god, those are dogs or what? Drake hounds are a species of wingless, wolf-sized carnivores that lair in the mountains to the north of the Noxian capital. They are vicious pack hunters and much favored in Noxus as war beasts, guard creatures, and expensive, albeit dangerous pets. Oh, I was thinking that maybe you could mount them or something as a mount instead of horses. To own one or more Drake's hounds is a visible symbol of wealth and power. Okay, so there are like wolves. Cool, cool. Noxus and magic. Noxians generally regard magic as another powerful tool in their arsenal. Those who are able to wield it are held in high esteem and are actively sought out, even beyond the borders of Noxus, in order that their special talents might be honed and best harnessed for the benefit of the Empire. Yeah, I wonder in Arcane Season 2 if they are coming to Piltover to seek the Hextech, because that's a powerful weapon. Whoever has Hextech in this world probably has an advantage, and Noxus wants advantage always, right? And it's within their borders, so... This is just an entrance to... Yeah, it's like very medieval looking, but still... Now we are in the military, the war bands of Noxus. Noxus has one of the largest armies in the known world, composed of elite troops such as the Trifarian Legion, as well as hundreds of individuals localized warbands, led by their own chieftains, marshals, and captains. Each warband is unique within its own culture, hierarchy, and favored way of war. They fulfill specific roles as part of a much larger war host, perhaps fighting as frontline shock troops, heavy infantry, scouts, assassins, or cavalry, whatever best suits their skills. That is awesome. And so detailed, and oh my god. Like, imagine the MMORPG if we ever get to that. How many of these warbands could they create? Like, they could create so many and just have such a diverse environment. It's amazing. Strength and variety. Yeah, look at all the armor and the horses. Even with the Trifarian Legion, there is little uniformity within the ranks. In Noxus, a warrior's natural talents and specialties are embraced, rather than forcing them to conform to a certain way of waging war. This carries across into all aspects of Noxian life. They believe in discovering what you are good at, and then finding a way to utilize what to make the empire stronger. Oh my god, that's kind of wholesome, no? Okay, we're not gonna force you, but where are you the best at? Do you like drawing? Okay, then we're gonna make you the painter of the castle or something. I don't know. That's kind of cool. The Trifarian Legion. I gotta say, there is so much more information on this one city than Song and Piltover combined, I feel. The most elite, respected, and battle-hardened military force within the Noxian Empire, the Legion, is led by Darius himself. Okay, so that's the best of the best, Darius. Yeah, there are not only the best soldiers in Noxus, but also the most loyal, utterly devoted to the Empire and its leaders. Their armor is heavy and utilitarian, and often features 3 indentations hammered into the breastplates representing the Trifarics, the 3 principles of strength, and the name given to Grand General Swain's ruling council. Oh, these 3 things? Okay. That's how you recognize them. The Trifarian Legion, you gotta watch out for those guys. Noxian weaponry, yeah, it's very basic, I gotta say. The forges of Noxus, never cool. Churning out swords, axes, and armor in vast quantities for distribution to the war hosts, the Empire values function over form. The design often incorporating additional uses, such as hooked handles to unhorsed mounted enemies. In recent years, Noxus has begun to experiment with crude black powder weapons and chemtech from Zone, though the results are mixed, often as destructive to friend as they are to the enemy. Wow, so they don't really understand technology that much, right? Maybe they just like metal and that's it. Noxian armor. Noxian forged weapons, tools, and implements tend to share the same severe aesthetic as can be seen in the Empire's architecture and dress. Yeah, pretty simple. Axe of Darius. Okay, simple enough. War Masons. War Masons are resourceful scouts, engineers, and warriors who design and oversee the construction of roads, bridges, and fortifications. Often, the first indication of Noxian expansion is not the sight of troops on the march, but a lone war mason scouting enemy territory for possible invasion routes. Wow. I mean, then kill them first. Maybe, I don't know. These are like the architects or something. Basilisks. Monstrous reptiles from the southern jungles. Basilisks are fierce predators that can grow to gargantuan sizes. Young basilisks are prized riding beasts. Okay, so they don't ride only horses, but these two. And few can stand against their charge. After they become too large for a rider to control, they are put to use as beasts of burden, or sometimes as living battering rams to smash down the walls of besieged cities. Okay, so the soldiers use this to go against the buildings and everything. That's amazing. Okay, I dig that. And over here we have a feature video, Surviving in Noxus Depth Diary. I did not expect them to have a video about one of the areas, so let's check it out, why not?
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Ant Reynolds-Lene and I'm a senior writer on the world building team.
Hi there, I'm Maisie and I'm a concept artist on the world building team.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Noxus.
Okay, let's go.
Noxus is a massive, massive, expansionist, aggressive empire. It's constantly moving its borders out. It's actually one of the biggest empires in Runeterra, as well as one of the oldest.
Yeah.
It's also one of the most culturally inclusive places. They're constantly bringing more people into the empire, which to them adds strength to the empire.
Traditionally, Noxus has always been portrayed as the bad guys or the evil faction. So today we'd like to take a closer look at them and to dive into some of the nuances and details that make up the empire. Noxus is situated on land that's very arid and devoid of resources, which makes it hard for them to grow any crops.
Oh, that's why they got to expand.
And because it's so hard for them to sustain themselves, they've taken to expanding outwards and conquering other nations.
So at the heart of Noxus, the capital, is actually built around an ancient fortress called the Immortal Bastion. So the Immortal Bastion was actually a castle that was built by Mordekaiser way, way, way in the past.
A long time
He was
ago.
a tyrant, and all these different barbarian tribes that lived in the area actually combined their forces to overthrow him. And once they finally overthrew him, they took the Immortal Bastion as their own.
Was a bad boy.
That is what started the Noxian Empire.
All right.
So Noxus is truly huge. It's expanded in all sorts of different areas. So in the north, it's expanded up towards the Freljord, pushing into the Freljord up there.
That's the icy area.
In the south, it's pushed into Shrima. It's actually taken over a whole bunch of the northern Shriman cities. It hasn't taken on Piltover or Zorn
this map
yet.
is interesting.
It's neutral with those guys. It uses that as a trade port, but you can tell that in the future they might be taking a bit more interest there. To the east, they had an attack against Ionia, but that did not go so well. But you know it's only a matter of time before they try and push their border back out that way.
So Noxus doesn't always conquer their territories violently. In many cases, some of these cities tend to want to bend the knee to Noxus because they get great benefits in trade and protection. As an example of assimilation, here's one of a northern Shuriman harbor where Noxians have, instead of taking over the city, set up this port of call and enclave where they've started to live amongst the locals and take on some of their customs.
Okay.
The governor of this harbor has taken to wearing Shuriman clothing, even though he's from Noxus, in order to gain favor with the locals.
Oh, so they adapt.
Noxians value strength over all else. Primarily, this is martial and physical strength, although Noxians acknowledge strength in all its different forms. So if you're a very successful trader, or if you're politically inclined, you too can find great success in Noxus.
Noxus's view on strength is exemplified.
I don't want to
by a
move
notion
there,
that
but
they call
sounds
the trifarics.
interesting.
The trifarics, otherwise known as the principles of strength, are the three aspects of strength that they've identified, which they believe that Noxus needs to be strong in all of these areas. And those three areas are might, vision,
Yeah, I was
and
wondering
guile.
what that were.
Their idea is that
Guile,
they need to be strong in
vision.
all of these, and if they're weak in one area, it can actually bring the whole of Noxus down.
Oh, wow.
So the
Interesting.
Trifarics is also the name given to the tri-leadership of Noxus. This was an idea that Swain has brought in. Rather than having a singular emperor, Noxus is actually led by 3 leaders.
Okay, I was wondering
one
about
each
that.
who represents one of those principles of strength.
Ooh.
So you've got Swain, who represents vision. You've got Darius, who represents might, who is the leader of the military side of things. And an unnamed, sort of faceless figure who represents guile. Now, one of the ideas with this concept is that a single emperor can always be fallible and could bring Noxus down. But if you've got 3 leaders there, they can each hold each other more accountable.
That's very interesting.
Noxus is a faction rife with symbology, and so
Wait,
the Trifarics
is the third one the mom of Mel Medarda from Arcane? Could be the third one, no? Maybe.
very commonly represented throughout the Empire. One of these instances is through the Noxian crest. If we look at the Noxian crest, the eyes represent vision, the pillars at the bottom represent might, and the blades represent guile. Okay. Within the Empire, the Trifarics is also represented by its architecture, such as this Noxian tower, which shows the 3 pillars of strength.
Oh, that makes sense.
In much of Noxus, people tend to build homes and structures that are imposing and commanding to reflect their belief in the principle of might.
When Noxus goes to war, it's very different than a place like Demacia going to war. Demacia is very uniform, very regimented.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Demacia.
Noxus is very different from that. It's not chaos, but they see strength in all the variety and diversity of the different ways its warbands fight.
War Masons are a distinct branch of the Noxian military, and they scout ahead and are responsible for engineering feats such as bridges, structures, anything that the Noxian army might need to expand outwards. Of all the warbands, the Trifarian Legion is the most elite and the most feared. It's led by Darius himself, and they're so named to reflect the core principles of Noxus.
I find it crazy that Darius, as one of the emperors or part of the emperor, he goes on to battle. I mean, he's might, right? But still, I find it kind of dangerous for him to put the structure of the city in danger, no?
Many warriors from the other warbands would give an arm and a leg to be part of this legion. Aside from having a really large army, Noxus is also very open to experimenting with new things and constantly adapting and changing as new ideas and people flood into the Empire.
All right.
So one of the new technologies that Noxus is experimenting with are black powder weapons. And they've also been taking an interest in Piltover and Zon due to the high levels of technology found there.
Yeah.
Magic is also just regarded as just another powerful tool in their arsenal. So it's the kind of thing that they would be looking for different mages to bring into Noxus to hone their powers for the betterment and strength of Noxus. It's the kind of place where they might embrace things that other cultures might have a few more taboos around. As an example of that is like bringing Sion back. They would just see this as a great thing for Noxus because he's this powerful
this
warlord.
is a cinematic.
Other people might be like, I don't know if you should be doing that.
Ooh. Noxus also makes use of a lot of creatures throughout the Empire, whether it's in their war efforts or in their civilian life. So, for example, they might have living battering rams or beasts of burden that pull their war machines. And in daily life, they might have a drakehound, especially if they're rich and noble, as a display of wealth and power.
They're cute. I like them.
We hope you guys enjoyed this look into Noxus.
I did.
And if you'd like to know more, we have new art and new bios on Universe, so please check it out. Thanks for watching.
This is 6 years old. I mean, yeah, this is probably outdated by now, but that was very interesting. Yeah. Wow, that was a long overview of a city, the longest we have done so far, and I loved it. I loved how detailed it is, how much like customs and culture they have included into the lore. It's very interesting, and it's like deeper than I thought. You know, it's way deeper. It goes into way more detail than I could ever imagine. And this brings me like a question: will they ever do shows about these areas? Because Arcane Season 2 will be the last show of Piltover and Song, Jinx and all of that, supposedly. So I wonder if they are gonna do more where they just focus on other areas. That would be very interesting. I feel like Noxus seems like a prime candidate because there is so much going on, and there is so much war, action, drama between the houses and all of that. That is very, very cool. What did you think? Did you learn something new? Is there something that they have updated that you might want to point out that maybe it might be helpful for me? Let me know in the comments. And next time we go through an area, we probably will check out something related to Ruination, because like I want to read this book and I want some context on it. Hopefully it's not spoilers. Let me know if I should read the books first or watch a little bit the context, because I'm not super clear on that. But for sure I will be doing a review of this book. I will be doing a video. This has been MrGuybrush, and oh my god, if you have made it to the end of the video, like, thank you so much, because this is a long one, okay? If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. We are gonna be going through the lore of League of Legends, and we have gone through a bunch of it already. So consider checking out the other videos too. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye 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 bye.